Well, hello there, welcome back to my channel. This is the Unintentional ASMR Book Club. If you're new here, welcome, you're just in time for the bedtime stories. Tonight's book is a continuation of the first reading of this book called Where the Crawdads Sing. Let's begin. The shack sat back from the palmettos, which sprawled across sand flats to a necklace of green lagoons, and in the distance all the marsh beyond. Miles of blade grass, so tough it grew in salt water, interrupted only by trees, so bent they wore the shape of the wind. Oak forests bunched around the other sides of the shack and sheltered the closest lagoon, its surface so rich in life it churned. Salt air and gull song drifted through the trees from the sea. Claiming territory hadn't changed much since the 1500s. The scattered marsh holdings weren't legally described, just staked out natural. A creek boundary here, a dead oak there, by renegades. A man doesn't set up a palmetto lean-to in a bog unless he's on the run from somebody or at the end of his own road. The marsh was guarded by a torn shoreline, labeled by early explorers as the graveyard of the Atlantic, because riptides, furious winds, and shallow shoals racked ships like paper hats along what would become the North Carolina coast. One seaman's journal read, "Ranged along the shore, but could discern no entrance. A violent storm overtook us. We were forced to get off to sea to secure ourselves and ship, and were driven by the rapidity of a strong current. The land being marshy and swamps, we returned towards our ship. Discouragement, all of such as should hereafter come into those parts to settle. Those looking for serious land moved on, and this infamous marsh became a net, scooping up a mishmash of mutinous sailors, castaways, debtors, and fugitives dodging wars, taxes, or laws that they didn't take to. The one malaria didn't kill or the swamp didn't swallow, bred into a woodsman tribe of several races and multiple cultures, each of whom could fell a small forest with a hatchet and pack a buck for miles. Like river rats, each had his own territory, yet had to fit into the fringe or simply disappear someday in the swamp. 200 years later, they were joined by runaway slaves who escaped into the marsh and were called maroons, and freed slaves, penniless and beleaguered, who dispersed into the waterland because of scant options. Alright, so that was the second reading of that book. I hope you enjoyed reading. I hope you enjoyed listening to that. If you do, give it a like, and I wish you well, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.